Good evening to everyone. I am Marco Mantovani, a PhD student at the Conservatory, and I will present today a performance with the title On the Path of Hoffmann, the Fantastic in Schumann and Bulgakov, the Master and Margarita. The topic of my concept might seem unusual and a little strange. What do Schumann and Bulgakov have in common? Why create a link between such different personalities? The first is a German composer from the first half of the 19th century. The second, a Russian writer and playwright lived under Stalinist regime. Indeed, it was quite a challenge to explain and justify a relationship that I intuitively felt from the very first moment I encountered Bulgakov's great novel, The Master and Margarita. To speak first briefly about the book, it was at first censored by the Russian regime and therefore published almost 30 years after Bulgakov's death in 1940, and it is now considered to be among one of the greatest novels of the last century by some of the most important thinkers, including the Italian poet Eugenio Montale. The book has many different interpretative angles, and we can find at least 4 different stories. The first, the love story of the Master and Margarita, where the master is a writer which, after finishing his masterpiece, the Book of Pilate, cannot find a publisher, is panned by critics and ends up in asylum. And Margarita, a married woman who has fallen in love with the master and is devastated in seeing him going mad. A second layer, the story of Voland, so the story of the misdeeds of the devil, which is called Voland in the book, and his acolytes in Bulgakov's contemporary Moscow. A third layer, the story of Pilate, which is a very deep introspection into the troubles, doubts, and guilt of the Roman procurator after condemning Jesus, called Yeshua Nozri in the book. And finally, the humoristic detective novel of the Russian secret police, trying to solve the crimes produced by Voland and his group, and obviously failing to catch them. All these stories intertwine in the most unexpected and brilliant way and lead to a final climax where everything is somehow connected, an apparent disordered chaos that unveils an order where all the stories make contact and influence each other. As we clearly see already from the short presentation I just did of the plot, the whole novel can be divided between the most ordinary gray reality, so the landscape of Stalinist Moscow in the 30s, and supernatural, fantastic, at times grotesque elements. These 2 layers do not represent an unsolvable dichotomy. On the opposite, they are connected and depending one to the other. This poetic choice closely resembles to Hoffmann's therapeutic principle, and in general to Hoffmann's predilection, the presentation of a fantastic world which is inseparably intertwined with reality, where the supernatural is part of reality and affects it, and where reality is made even more true and personal by the use of many autobiographical references. This peculiar use and taste for the fantastic element is also extremely familiar to Schumann, who was as well very much influenced by Hoffmann's poetic, to the point that the Fantasiestücke Opus 12, which is the piece I will play, borrow the exact same title from a cycle of novels by the German poet. The Master and Margarita is also considered to be one of the greatest love stories ever written. The tormented love caused by the forced separation of the 2 lovers, which can be reunited again thanks to a supernatural force, represents the second theme that I can refer to Schumann's Fantasiestücke. Indeed, this piano cycle was drafted in July 1837, towards the end of the long period of separation between Robert and Clara. She was at that time intensively touring Europe with her father, who did not want them to meet or even exchange letters. It was indeed one of Schumann's darkest moments, where he wasn't sure anymore about the feelings and engagement of Clara. The heart of the cycle, Ende, Nacht, reminded Schumann himself of the Greek myth of Hero and Leander. Paradigmatic example of tormented love and predecessor of Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet, this myth tells the story of 2 lovers living at the opposite sides of Hellespont Strait. Leander would swim every night to join Hero on the other bank, until a stormy night, when tossed by the waves, he loses his way and drowns. The following morning, Hero sees the dead body of Leander on the beach and throws herself from the tower to be with him again in death. During this recital, I will connect to Schumann, therefore, only the love story between the Master and Margarita, some fantastic elements from the adventures of the devil in Moscow, and some excerpts from the book of Pilate, which, as in Bulgakov, will be the gluing element of the whole performance. Wondering about how to put in practice during a live performance this dialogue between Schumann and Bulgakov, I found a Russian TV series that is quite accurate and follows the book very closely. I then selected some video excerpts that will come up as flashes, almost reminiscences. I do not want the music to just accompany or describe the video excerpts. The two mediums are and must stay separated. I did not try then to find programmatic and forced connections. But at the same time, I believe these two artistic works share some common ground, and this match might add interesting insights, both on the music and on the book. I want indeed to create a dialogue between Schumann and Bulgakov, hoping that this conversation will differently enlighten both artworks, leading to unexpected perspectives. Thank you.
Я утверждаю смертный приговор Иешуа Ганоцри.
Тогда было около 10 часов утра, досточтимый Иван Николаевич.
пришедший со Средиземного моря, накрыла ненавидимый прокуратором город. Пропал Ершлаим. Великий город. Как будто не существовал на свете. Да-да-да. Та же самая ошибка.